You're listening to She's Got Drive podcast, the podcast that inspires women to be a driver in their own life through the life and stories of Black women who drive. And I'm your host, Shirley McAlpine. I'm a business consultant, executive coach, and a leadership facilitator, working with people and organizations to live their lives by design and not default. And welcome to this She's Got Drive short, which is what's been driving me this week, where I share with you what's the main thing that's occupying my mind, my energy, my time and my spirit. And I share with you what I'm doing about it and the strategies that I'm using, the thing that is guiding me in all parts of my life, or the thing that's inspiring me and giving me life, or it could be the thing that's driving me crazy and what I'm doing about it. So if you want to find out how I take on change in my life, or actually a transformation, then you've come to the right place. So what's been driving me this week? It's been a week. It has been a week. Starting with Amy Cooper calling the police on Christopher Cooper whilst he was bird watching in Central Park. And then the murder of George Floyd in the middle of the week. And it feels like now we're just all on this like collective amygdala hijack. You know, that we're all in such a heightened level of emotion that we don't know what to do. Or we're doing something, but we don't know if it's going to make any difference in the long term. And I don't know about you, but I've been crying a lot. In fact, I spent most of yesterday crying all day. You know, just really present to the cumulative impact of racism and racial trauma in our communities and in my own life. It's just started to see again the racial trauma in my life, in the life of my parents, in the life of my family, in the life of my grandparents, our ancestors. It's all there. And it's a lot. So, you know, I woke up this morning and I just wanted to, can we take a pause? Can we just take a pause? Can we take a pause? Because we're all what's so present, and we're just in our emotion. We're just in it. When we're tired, or when we're angry, or when we're disappointed, when we're exhausted, when we're worried, when we're disappointed, when it feels uncertain, when we feel helpless, when we feel sad, when we feel despondent, when we feel despair. Can we just take a pause? Can we just take a pause? Because when we act out of our emotions, when we act out from that place, when it's our emotions that's guiding our decision making, then are we clear that we're moving forward? Are we clear that what we're doing is actually going to be helpful in the long run? Is it making any difference? Yesterday, one of the things that came up from like Friday, I was I'm a part of a number of online like Facebook groups, you know. For various reasons, I do courses, I join the Facebook groups, and I'm part of those groups. And I'm in one of those groups, and they shut down the comments. And it was just like, we're not having conversations about how you're feeling in this space. It was Marie Forleo's Facebook group. And they just turned it off. And the conversations were productive up until that point. And then it became around conversations about that the comments were turned off and who she's being and all of that. And I was like, I got to see how much of my energy was putting into someone who doesn't care about me and how I'm feeling and how others are feeling at this critical time in America. And so whilst you're typing away and making a comment and energy going into that place, is it going to make any difference to the outcome that you're seeking? Or is there something else that you can do with that energy? So I took my energy away from that conversation because I want to be in a conversation for what makes a difference. But when I'm in the amygdala hijack, when I'm in the emotion is like, I just want to say something about this. I want to have a comment about it. No, manage your energy, because I know right now I have so little. I have so little. My reserve well that is usually there to support others, is like kind of running on empty right now after the last few days. And so I need to take a pause. And I'm inviting us to take a pause. I'm inviting you to take a pause wherever you are on this. There's a lot happening. I'm inviting us to take a pause. And I want us to start with some radical self-care. I'm always banging on about self-care, but I want us to start with some radical self-care. I want us to manage the input of the stuff that's coming in us. I want us to think about when we need to rest, when we need to come off our phone. I want us to send healing intentions and vibes out there to every single person who is impacted. I want us to think about what is it that we need? What is it that our community needs? How do we hold space together? Radical self-care. A collective radical self-care for Black communities. And then I started to think about, when I finally start to take a pause, then I remember that as a coach, one of the things that, this is what I know. What I know for sure is when I am supporting individuals, or when I am supporting organizations, or when I want to make change in my own life, if I'm supporting individuals around change, or organizations around change, or myself, I want to make a change, and I want to make a change that's going to make a difference, it is not from my emotion. My emotion is my fuel. My emotion is my fuel, but it's my decision making is not coming from that place. That's a different part of me that creates and starts to see, how do I get to what I want? So the first thing I want to sort of answer is like, what do we want? What is it that you want? What's my outcome? What's my outcome? What's your outcome? What is it that you want? And then what is not only what is it that you want, but what is being asked of you in this moment? I'm asking myself, what is being asked of me in this moment? Because I care so deeply about ending racism. I care so deeply about it, not just for me and my children, but for our communities, for this planet. So what is it that is wanted from me, and what's the outcome that I'm seeking? What is it that I want? Where are we heading? And then when we look at where we are now, are we clear about where we are now? Individually, collectively, what is going to make the biggest difference to getting us to where we want to be? What's going to make the biggest difference to getting where I want to be in this? Like, what I don't want to take on in this, what's going to make the biggest difference? So those are the questions, like, where do I want to be? What's happening now? And what's going to make the biggest difference to achieving the outcome? Like, when we think about that, when you think about that, whatever it is that you want to do to make a difference to this, when you think about what's going to make the difference, the biggest difference, do that. That's the action to take. And that's the action to take, because I started to think about, have we been here before? Have we been outraged before? Have we been tired before? Have we been frustrated before? Have we been angry before? And is the actions that have been taken so far right now, have we not done that before? We've all heard the phrase that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, it's called insanity. I feel like right now there's so much that's happening that's just deepening the trauma. The conversations online aren't always helpful. Let's put it that way. You know? So you've got to manage that. I'm looking, one of the other things that I know that makes a difference to sustainable change is getting the support from those who are willing to and can support you, and stepping away from those that are unwilling to or cannot support you. Is critical for us sustaining change in our own life. So in this particular time, I'm seeking support from people and groups who can support me and are willing to support me. And I'm withdrawing from people and groups who are unwilling to support me on this. And conserving my energy and conserving your energy. Should I say that again? Conserving your energy. You're that limited resource. Because when you're in it for the long haul, when you're in it for the long run, this matters so much. It matters so much that you conserve your energy. And that is why we need to take a pause. It's why we need to take a pause. Can we just take a pause? Because we want to remember that our actions are about moving us toward the goal that we want, and it's not about moving us away from the goal. Whatever the goal is, the goals, we want to end racism. We want to end injustice. We want to end the killing of black men and women. If that's the goal, then what's the work really? And are we taking steps that move us closer to that goal or move us away from that goal? I don't know the answer, but I do know we got to take a pause. We got to conserve our energy, because I've been fighting the fight for many, many years. I've been fighting the fight around equity, racial equity, and I've learned a long time ago that it's important to be choiceful about where you place your energy, where you take actions, who you place that energy with, and the time that you take. I have learned, and it has been a very painful lesson. A very painful lesson at times, very painful. About where you put your energy, who you put your energy with, and the time that you take, and where you put your time. So I'm inviting you to take a pause and think about all of that, because I'm taking a pause to think about all of that in this moment. Where do I put my energy? Who do I put my energy with? And where do I put my time? And what actions am I taking? To see the end goal. So I want us to take a pause. Can we take a pause and do the work to get to what we want? Again, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. And I feel like I know I've done that. I know I've gone back into spaces hoping for a different result, gone back to conversations with people around race. Let me be specific, white people around race, hoping for something different, and no, it's not different. And then seeing the difference when I can engage in conversations around race and see a shift. So where you put your energy, your resource, and your time matters, because it takes its toll on you and it takes its toll on our communities. And we're seeing that. You've only got to look at the health disparities. That's what trauma and stress does. The day-to-day impact of the micro-racial aggressions that happen day in and day out. And that's what came up for me yesterday. All those things, not even all of them, because I'd be there. Listen, you can't go through all of it, but it was like the flashback of so many things that have happened in my life that you bury because you have to, because that's how you keep it moving. So I know I'm not alone, that all those things start to come up for us individually this week. So the tired, the exhaustion is because you're running on empty anyway. So can we take a pause? Can we just take a pause? And I come back to that radical self-care. What if we took that on as a Black community? What if our revolution was self-care? What if what we did was just to spend our time lifting each other up? I.D.B. Wells said, "There must always be a remedy for the wrong and injustice if we only know how to find it." And I'm inviting us in our search to find it, to just take a pause. Can we just take a pause? And I'm going to end with another quote from Mary McLeod Bethune, who says, "The progress of the world will call for the best that all of us have to give." The progress of the world will call for the best that all of us have to give, and we need time to see what that is, to bring our best. So that's what's been driving me this week. What's driving you? And how are you going to respond to what's driving you this week that puts you back in the driving seat? So You know I always want to hear from you. You can contact me through my Instagram page at Shirley McAlpine. You can go to Shirley McAlpine /contact me, shirleymcalpine.com/contact me from my page, or you could send a message on the She's Got Drive Facebook page, or join the community She's Got Drive. And above all, take a pause. She's Got Drive is produced by Cassandra Vortolina. The music is by the awesome or female band Blonde. The song is called Circles. Until next time, go well and stay well.